Today you're going to practice using the Marquee tools. This will be important when you do your head and body switch next week. Make sure you've gone to Schoology and you've downloaded the PSB 1, 5, and 6 files. They're a little out of order there. Make sure you're also doing it by clicking on it and then clicking the download file button. If you don't do that, as you know, we've had some experience already. Some images are cut off and you're not able to do your work the way that I'm showing. So go to Photoshop, and you're going to be working a lot with the Move tool and the Marquee tool. Your Marquee tool might be showing the elliptical. That little dark triangle in the bottom right-hand corner tells us that we can hold that button down and select a different tool. So go over here and zoom in, but zoom in so that you can also see where your shape is headed. As you can see over here, there are pieces missing. We're going to fill it with these pieces. So I'm going to take the little crosshair and I'm going to get as close as I can to the edge without going into the image because I don't want to leave any of the image behind. And I'm going to select it, and you just do that by clicking and dragging. And then take the Move tool and take it with you, drag and drop it. Now you can see that there's no image left here. You might have little pieces because this is the first time you've done it, and I might as I go, and I'll just let that happen. I won't cut that out of the video. All you have to do is Command Z and try again. So if you want to get rid of your dancing ants, Command D as in dog. Again, there should be no pieces left here. That's what I'm going to be looking for your grade. And then I'm going to take the rectangle marquee again, and I'm going to go to the bottom right-hand corner this time. And this time I'm going to hold Shift before I click with my mouse. In doing so, you'll see that I'm going to get a lot more white this time. In doing so, I can draw this twice, and when I let go of Shift and my mouse, it's all one. So now I can take the Move tool and drag it over. Now I have a lot more white. That's okay. You just want to minimize that. You'll see later that it can be difficult if you have more white. Command D. Now, you'll see that it didn't quite line up here. So I'm going to undo. And when I hit undo, I can actually use my arrow keys to move this around and line up that border there so that once I fill in these white spaces, you won't be able to tell that that piece was cut out. So Command D. In order to use the arrows when something's selected, you have to have the Move tool selected. So sometime if you don't have that, if you can't get it to move, that's why. And then I'm going to select the rectangle marquee again, and I'm going to take number 3. This time this piece has, you'll see that I didn't take all of my image, so I'm going to Command Z, Command D, and then I'm going to try again. And it's okay to get a little bit more white. You just don't want a bunch of it. You want to try to work as precisely as possible. Now I'm going to use the arrows to line that up. And now we have to take care of this space. So Command B, now pick the magic wand. You might have the quick selection tool showing. I just by default use the magic wand because the quick selection sometimes gives problems. They both have their issues though. I'm going to click that white box, which selects it, and I'm going to hit delete. And make sure you use content aware, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So it should say content aware, mode normal, opacity 100%, because we don't want to be able to see through it. Hit OK, and you'll see that content aware made this red, this space red. Now, I'm not quite sure why there's that white space. It hasn't done that to me before. I'm going to move it around with the arrows and see if I can get it to go away. It's not. So we'll fix that later. All right, the elliptical is a little different. You have to hold Shift in order to make a perfect circle. Well, you'll see that you need to be able to move it around. So hold the space bar at the same time, and you can readjust, but keep holding Shift when you do it. And move it, in order to move it away, you have to use the space bar. And then release the space bar and adjust. So this is giving me problems. Hopefully it doesn't give you problems. No pixels more than 50% selected. Hopefully this problem won't happen in class. I'll assist you if it does. We're going to move on, and I'm going to choose the magnetic lasso. You might have the lasso tool showing, so hold that down and click that. Notice that you can also, over here it says you can click L on your keyboard. That's only going to select what's already showing. And the magnetic lasso will select these edges. It's not perfect, so it does take some practice. You got to get pretty close to the edge. If you're too far away, it's going to get wacky. Again, this is why I switch to these videos. If you're having problems, then you just call me over and then I'm available. I don't have to stop for the whole class. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go back, but I don't want to see any of this image sitting here when I see your file. I want you to start over, but this recording can only be so long, and I think I'm running out of time. Now you'll use the polygonal lasso tool for this one. You'll click, drag, click, and you get the point. I'm going to hit escape because escape will stop what I'm doing. So if you start getting all crazy and you're like, I can't get out of here, I can't find the edge, just hit escape and then you can start over. So I'll let you go ahead and do that one and this one before you turn it in. Next, let's fill in these gaps. So we're going to use the clone tool. And remember, your brush sizes are up here. Mine is teeny tiny. I don't want it teeny tiny, but I don't want it too big. I'm going to start with 5. And my hardness is 100%. You can just click this. All right, the clone tool is right here underneath the paintbrush. And first I have to sample an area. So if I want to sample this red to fill in this spot here and this spot here, I'm going to hold down Option or Alt. If you were doing this on a PC, it would be Alt. You would sample the area that you want to copy, click, let go of both keys, both your mouse and your key, and then as you paint, see that crosshair? That's where it's copying from, and the little square is where it's painting. So you might have to resample then as you move around, because watch. Sometimes you'll be sampling over here and you'll be close to an edge and then you get into there. So you have to resample if you start moving too far. It's really tricky because you have to watch both the area that's being sampled, because if that crosshair goes into that yellow, it's going to start sampling yellow. And maybe I want that, but if you were to zoom in on this, you'll see that it's now not a perfectly straight line. So have fun playing with that and let me know if you need any help.